Hello, welcome to Scrap Time, episode 980. My name is Christina, and on today's episode, I'm showing you my flower masks and stencils. Today I am showing you my flower stencil mask that I make and sell. And what I did was I drew all the flowers by hand, and then I scanned it into my Scan and Cut, and I cut them using the Scan and Cut. And I use a stencil film for them, so it is a thinner stencil, but it won't rip on you or that. You can reuse it over and over again. They're best to use with like acrylic paints. And you get these 4 large flowers as well as the tiny little flower, and you get both the stencil and the mask of the flower. So I'm going to show you some projects I've done using my stencil mask. If you've taken any of my art journaling classes, you would have seen them, and I think I might have used them in a couple Scrap Time videos as well. So on this page here, I used the masks, and so you can see how what happens is, let me just say, as I'm stenciling this one, I would have the mask on, and so, or when I go to stencil that one, what I would do is put the mask over top of these, however it fits. And so then when I go to stencil the one underneath, it's right underneath. So that's one way you can use the masks as well as the stencils together. And then I just doodle over it. So it's a solid image flower, and then it gives you the place to doodle right over top of it. So here is a similar idea where I layered up the stencils and the masks. Here's just that single flower, and just a bit of simple doodling is all you need on that one. And then I had stamped within this one here, so I just put my stencil down however it fits and stamped inside. And then I have one last one to show you. Here I had actually put the stencil on my jelly plate, put the black ink right on my jelly plate, and then stamped on it. And that's this is in the Exploring Art Journaling 4 class. I show you how to do that. So I'm just going to quickly show you using this stencil here. Going to get some paint. I'm using Dino Wakley's magenta paint here. I featured those a couple weeks ago. And so I'm just going to put my stencil down, and then with a sponge I'm going to sponge on the paint. I like to use a sponge because it gives you control of where the color is going, and I can press down those. So like that, you have the outline of the flower, or not the outline, but the inside of the flower. So I'm just going to quickly dry it. And now I'm going to use my Molotow markers. I'll start with the black to outline it. And I just do it really rough and sketchy. And this is what gives it, the outlining and the doodling you do on top is what gives it the detail. Going to give it a quick dry before I put the white over it. These markers are acrylic paint markers, so that's why I want to dry it. So then I can just add in some white up here. You can outline it a bit more, whatever you want. And I find just that white adds the highlights. And then you can just add a stem. And you can get some more paint in your stem, and that is done. So I sell the flower stencil mask in a pack. They come like this, and as I said, you get the 4 big flowers and the 1 little flower, both the stencil and the mask, and they sell for $5 on my Etsy site. So I'd love you to go check it out. I have this. I also sell, I have a few more of my cut lace stencils left, and I have digitally cut die of these flowers. So they're like a die cut, but I cut them with the Scan and Cut as well, that I've cut out of jelly paper. So you can check those out all on my Etsy site. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you some new Crafters Workshop templates. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.